Okay, the category of stewardship. When we ask about humanity's place in creation, both in and with and at the same time over and above, that's not all there is to it. Why are we in and with and at the same time over and above? It's because we have a purpose, the purpose of stewardship. Doug Hall has said, stewardship belongs to the most ancient strands of our Judeo-Christian heritage. The scriptures offer the developing Christian movement a particularly interesting metaphor through which Christians could glimpse something of the whole thrust and meaning of their message and their life in the world. The Oxford English Dictionary gives this definition: a steward is an official who controls the domestic affairs of a household, supervising the service of his master's table, directing the domestics, regulating the household expenditures, a major domo. The dictionary also notes that the word particularly became associated with royal households. The English word is used to translate several different biblical words, but the most common in the New Testament is the Greek word oikonomos, which is a combination of oikos, which means house, and nomos, which means rule. So it's rule of the household, or running, governing, superintending of the household. This is the nature of the oikonomos and oikonomia, household management. Oikonomia is the root of our English word economics. And some of us remember the days when schools taught a course called home economics, the efficient, wise running of household chores, household business. In that sense, it's a study of stewardship. There's a bit more, though, to the etymology of the word. At the end of the 18th century, the end of the 19th century, Ernst Haeckel, a German biologist and naturalist, formed the word ecology from the word oikos and logos, study of the household. So the relationship of stewardship to ecology there's a very interesting linguistic connection there, but I think there's also a conceptual connection as well. Stewardship has to do, understood in this sense, not just with the management of the household of God, not just with church rules and regulations, not just with running our families, but with the wise management of the natural world in which we're placed. As stewards, we have a delegated responsibility. We're not delegated free rein. We're not given right to things. We have a responsibility and a prescribed jurisdiction. We must value what the master values, value just as the master values, and manage the estate in the manner in which the master would want it managed were he present. Remember the parable of the landowner who went to a far-off country and left his servants in charge, giving them different talents. And to the one who just buried the talent, he said, you know what kind of a master I am, and you did not manage your talent in the manner that I would have wanted it managed. You buried it instead of using it. That's the picture of stewardship. Lauren Wilkinson says, though the value of things must comport to God's principles for correct valuing, humans are the Creator's agents for this task. The candidates for such principles put forward by the world around us, on the one hand, purely subjective valuations, or usefulness for human purposes, or intrinsic values, and here you hear the echoes of these different schools of environmental ethics we looked at last time. These are all deficient by Christian standards. The missing element, he says, is transcendence, and he defines that as valuing creation as it is grounded in the Creator's norms. The transcendent value comes from God. Not that the human is transcendent. but that's where the value comes from. And the steward must govern with this transcendent value in mind. The concept of stewardship at its core then is theocentric, not anthropocentric. It's not the human trying to say, I'm going to dispense, as Paul Taylor would have us, dispense with all differences between humans and the natural world. It's not Holmes Ralston saying, I'm the one who discovers the value. It's rather us saying, we must discover the value that God has put there and then seek to manage in accordance with that value. Does that make sense to you? In this sense, there are then three aspects to stewardship. Restoration. We need restoration because nature is imperfect. We need to bring about the substantial healing that Francis Schaeffer spoke of. Then the second aspect is conservation, because nature is finite. And we need to seek sustainability in the way we live. And finally, preservation, because nature is valuable in its own right for God's purposes, for God's revelation, as God's prize artistic product. And so we need to seek to preserve wild lands and wildlife and such things as biodiversity.
Biola University offers a variety of biblically centered degree programs, ranging from business to ministry to the arts and sciences. Visit biola.edu to find out how Biola could make a difference in your life.